Britton Moore's rendition of Zac Brown Band's song, Free, was the performance that was presented by the knockouts of The Voice Season 27 on April 7, 2025. It was a performance that felt like a welcome win from Texas. A country anthem was converted into a showcase of soulful perfection by this San Antonio native, who was only 21 years old at the time. As a result, he received universal praise from coaches and earned a qualification for the playoffs. When Britton was performing in front of his teammate Ari Camille, he did more than just sing. He painted a picture of freedom and emotion, demonstrating that creativity flourishes when talent and authenticity come together. Britton's silky smooth vocals and brave song choice made this knockout a standout moment, redefining what a young artist is capable of doing on a national platform. Let's delve into how these two factors contributed to this event's success. Taking the diamond to the center of attention, Britton Moore's path to becoming a contestant on The Voice was everything but straight. He began his athletic career at Ronald Reagan High School in San Antonio, where he was a standout pitcher and quarterback. In 2016, he even competed in the Little League World Series. He is a former professional athlete. However, music was always a part of his life. His parents, who were pastors at North Rock Church, brought him up in a culture that was filled with worship and gospel music. In the year 2022, Britton made the transition from playing sports to singing by exchanging baseball scholarships for the opportunity to pursue his musical aspirations. Before he appeared on the stage of The Voice, he had already established himself as a veteran, since he had just released his first single, Harmony, shortly before the season premiere. His time on The Voice got off to a fantastic start with a 4-chair turn in the blind auditions, when his rendition of Coldplay's Yellow, which featured a falsetto, was critically acclaimed. After hearing his high notes, John Legend referred to them as unflappable, and Adam Levine experienced an instant connection. Britton made the decision to be a member of Team Adam, and after delivering a haunting rendition of Radiohead's Creep during the battle round, he reached the knockouts prepared to surprise everyone. Being a performer with a pop bent, Zac Brown Band's hit song, Choosing Free, from 2008, was a daring decision on their part. However, Britton, who still had dirt from Texas under his nails, viewed it as a reconnection with his roots and an opportunity to combine his vision with his heritage. The creative genius of free creativity is not about coming up with new ways to do things. Rather, it is about helping things run more smoothly. The book Free by Britton was an excellent example of the attitude. Not only does the song require vocal control, but it also requires emotional depth due to its open road vibe and lyrics that are emotionally charged. Britton was able to give both, his velvety tenor wrapping itself around each note like a protective blanket. His voice glided over the tune with a clarity that seemed almost unearthly, and he established a tone of effortless grace from the very first line, which was just as free as we'll ever be. The creative aspect of his performance was the way in which he paid homage to the country spirit of the song while also incorporating his own flavor. Instead of attempting to imitate Zac Brown's gravelly warmth, he focused on his strengths, which included precise phrasing, mild vibrato, and a youthful sincerity that made every line feel like it was spoken by him. His falsetto, which had been a weapon ever before his audition, was used sparingly, like a brushstroke that was perfectly timed, and it enabled the chorus to reach new heights. The arrangement remained faithful to the acoustic core of the original, but it had a polished feel to it, with subtle guitar strums that allowed Britton's vocals to speak for themselves. Simply put, his presence on stage was equally captivating. Britton did not rely on spectacular moves. Rather, he stood firmly in place, was near to the microphone, and allowed his voice to do the talking. The story was delivered via his eyes, which conveyed a yearning for liberty that struck a chord with anyone who has ever fantasized about experiencing freedom. Michael Bublé referred to it as a youthful beauty, while Kelsey Ballerini, in a half-joking manner, referred to him as self-auto-tuned due to his flawless delivery. John Legend lauded his stylistic choices, and Adam Levine, his coach, remarked in a straightforward manner, "You sing the living crap out of everything." A creative tightrope walk that was accomplished with composure, it was a performance that seemed both authentic and contemporary at the same time. Defeat in a knockout battle. In the knockouts, there are two artists, each of whom performs one song, and only one of them progresses to the next round, unless a steal saves the day. During the performance, Britton's adversary, Ari Camille, ignited the stage with her deep enthusiasm by singing Faith Evans' Love Like This. She was a vocal powerhouse at the age of 21, which was similar to Britton's situation. She had moved from Team Legend to Team Adam through a battle steal. The performance received high praise from the critics for her confidence and variety, with John Legend describing it as her best performance to date. Some others even believed that she had surpassed Britton in terms of her command of the stage. Free, on the other hand, had a different impact. Britton's was more introspective and general, in contrast to Ari's, which was more daring and exciting. His greatest strength was his ability to make a country song sound like it could be enjoyed by everyone, whether they were pop fans, soul enthusiasts, or country purists. Each note was a conscious decision, and each phrase was a selection. He did not sing too loudly. Rather, he allowed the song to breathe, relying on its straightforwardness to take the weight. The coaches were impressed with his command of the situation when they spoke. The singer Bubbly referred to his tone as gorgeous, while Legend referred to it as pitch perfect. Even though he was conflicted between two stars, Adam decided to go with his instincts and say, "Britton has a lot of amazing control. When you get him worked up, he is able to hit the ball for the fences." In spite of Britton's victory, Ari's adventure continued. Legend was able to reclaim her, which is a testament to the intensity of the round. Having a creative impulse, having the courage to stretch was the source of Britton's inventiveness. It might have been awkward for a pop singer to transition into country music, but the fact that he was raised in Texas gave him legitimacy. Growing up, he had a deep appreciation for the genre, and Free was his way of expressing that this is me too. His performance was not about switching genres in order to gain influence, rather, it was about conveying stories. Britton's own transition from the world of sports to the world of music was a risk that paralleled the freedom he sang about, and the ideas of love and emancipation conveyed in the song resonated with him. Not only did he demonstrate diversity by selecting a song that was outside of his comfort zone, but he also demonstrated artistry by performing it in such a genuine manner. His approach was also influenced by his faith. A deeper motivation is suggested by posts on social media that are replete with Bible verses, such as Psalm 37:5, which states, "Commit everything you do to the Lord." As he performed on stage, that conviction manifested itself as a quiet confidence, a sense that his gift was intended to inspire others. The admirers of X felt it, and they referred to him as a star and so real. With a post that said, "Britton's voice is like butter, but his heart is the real deal," the author got it exactly right. Not only was his creation technically sound, but it was also emotionally charged, serving as a connection between his soul and the audience. There is a moment that remains. It was more than just a knockout victory for Britton. It was a statement they made. It was a season that was filled with talent, from Bryson Battle's renditions of Aretha Franklin to Tinaka Watt's Disco Fire. Yet Britton managed to carve out his own niche. His act garnered a lot of views on the internet, and videos of it quickly spread over YouTube. Young musicians were encouraged to adhere to their gut feelings, to choose songs that made them feel uncomfortable, and to sing from the heart. As Britton made his way to the playoffs on Team Adam, where he was accompanied by notable players such as Connor James and Ethan Eckenrode, he carried a new burden, the weight of expectation. When everything was said and done, Free was more than just a song. It was Britton Moore's freedom. There was a young man, a microphone, and a story that was delivered so brilliantly that it felt like it was the truth. This was the epitome of creativity. In spite of the fact that Season 27 may only crown one winner, Britton's buttery smooth victory demonstrated that he is already free and flying.